Back on Tap podcast. This is episode 96. I'm your host, Bill Dean, of course, here with my three co-hosts, Shorts Guy, Little Steve, and Schwim. I just had to run a dog. The dog came downstairs, started barking at me while I was on my seat, and I immediately was like, back out of here! You know, as I'm trying to start the show, so that's why the intro was a little long. It figures. And I just can't seem to get this thing going right. There's not a perfect intro that I've done yet, so I'm working on it.
Great job.
But we're brought to you by Primetime Radio, courtesy of Sam Wu and myself. And you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Please give us a 5-star review if you'd be so kind. Gentlemen, what are we drinking?
I guess I'll start since I'm next to Bill on the screen. I'm going kind of light tonight. I've had a lot of beer over the last couple of days.
It's
so I'm
natty?
going to go with just no. A Cape
Oh.
May Hard Lemonade.
Nice.
Oh, okay. That's light.
Nice and easy.
Not as light as
Can't go
natty,
wrong.
but it's light.
No, not as light as Natty. I mean, I do have water. That's about as close to Natty as I have right here. So, yeah.
I have, speaking of light, Bolero Snorts version of Juicy Pebbles, but in a light version called Peb Light.
Oh, I'm also doing
Peb Light.
One that Stevie guy actually got to me. So I'll go the next then. I am
I don't
doing
even
Way to copy him.
Bolero Snort. I ain't afraid of no bulls. Fruit of sound.
Oh, look at
That's
that.
pretty cool.
Thank you,
That's a
Stevie
cool
guy.
can.
Wait, Steve, you gave me this?
I don't know. Did I?
Well, I'm pretty sure you did, but it says it has milk sugar, so maybe you didn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
You gave me some Bolero Snort. I don't remember which one it is. I thought this was the one, but I guess not.
Maybe
That or
he
you
gave it
broke
to you
your own
because he
rule.
couldn't have it.
That could be possibly true too. So
I don't remember anybody giving it to me. Darcy Kemper is backing up.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, that's interesting, but okay.
Huh.
And the Oilers are going with Mike Smith again. You know, down 3-0. Let's not change anything.
yeah,
Tampa
well, we'll
Bay.
get into that. Shrimp, what are you
Tampa
drinking?
legend.
And then we'll go into that
Tampa
immediately.
legend Mike Smith?
You know it.
Tampa legend.
Very quickly, yeah, I'm running out here, so I'm into reruns. So I'm drinking a Where the Wild
thought
Hops
that
Are.
For a second, I thought that was a
every
Bud Light.
week it's a rerun.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's all I
Shrimp
got. I
has
don't have
no
anything
new
new.
beer selections.
I don't have anything new.
Well, you
honestly,
will have
I'm-
after Friday, or on Friday, I'll give you the 6-pack I have for you of
Oh, the
gummy
Cape Mays.
fish.
Yes.
I have a
Definitely
lot
rock
of beer
that
to
on
give you
Monday.
guys. All right, where's this game here?
I was going to say that I have also I haven't gotten really new beers other than what Shorts Guy's given me, but I have an unlimited supply, so I keep going into my fridge and finding random beers that I have not had yet still. So, and I also have a box of beers that I got sent to me that I have not opened yet, which is probably about 40 or 50 of them of just singles that are all
Damn.
brand new. So yeah, I
Okay.
need people to come over and help me drink.
I'm gonna come and raid that box so I can put some new stuff in my fridge.
Hey, let's do it. So let's get on to tap. Let's get to what's on tap for today's episode. Here's a weekly snapshot. The Cup finals, the conference finals have been crazy on one side, and we'll get into this right now as they sing "Oh Canada." The Oilers and Colorado Avalanche. Avalanche up 3-0. It's not without a couple games. To start the series. Obviously, we were around for that 8-6 win for Game 1 for Colorado. Game 2, 4-0 shutout for the Avs. Game 3, Edmonton really did put on a show. Mike Smith actually probably had his best game of the playoffs, but still not enough to beat the Avs. It's pretty much been the Cale Makar show. I didn't know what you guys thought, but what's your thought on this series so far? And my question to you guys is, if you were the coach of the Edmonton Oilers, would you play Connor McDavid 30 minutes tonight and just say, F it?
That's probably what he's going to do.
Yes, gotta go all
You
out
have
here.
to. You have to.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what they've been doing anyway, right? The amount of playing time that he and
Almost,
Draisaitl have been getting through every series, it's insane. But I said Colorado in 5, so I'm close.
Yeah. Yep.
That's kind of what I
I think I
expected.
Did I say 6? I can't remember what that was. I definitely.
I think me and Steve
did
said
somebody say sweep?
I think
I don't.
I might have
think so.
said sweep
we
or
said-
5.
I thought you
both
might
of
have
us.
sweep.
Yeah, I think both of us
Yeah.
said that they certainly could be a sweep, but we'll play it
Yeah.
safe and call it in 5. I'll have to go back
I think
and re-listen to
I think I
that.
said 6.
I don't even know what I said. I'm so terrible at picking anything for any series. Whatever I say, just do the opposite of me.
Yeah.
I've been
You're a nightmare.
I've been s- yeah. I've been kind of disappointed in this series. I thought it would be a little closer than it is.
That's what I thought too. I thought it'd
Oilers,
be
I thought the
I mean,
Oilers
I'd say
would at least put
up
up a
3-0,
fight.
but yeah, something.
And
I
McDavid
understand-
is he's so good, right? And we were talking about how he's literally carrying this team on his back. There's not much else. I mean, there's a couple guys that are contributing, but he's doing all the heavy lifting he has since the first series. But this is it's another case of the West where a team, and I mean, you would imagine they're not going to advance to the Stanley Cup final, where a team just advances to either the Stanley Cup final or to the Western Conference Finals that just probably shouldn't be there. And this is what you get, right? You just get a complete and utter blowout, which is what it pretty much should be. Edmonton is nowhere in the same stratosphere as Colorado is.
No,
at all.
Edmonton's lucky to be
We would have
there.
thought Calgary
Edmonton's
would
lucky
have
to
been
be
here,
where
but
they are.
they blew it.
To me, this is a first-round matchup.
Ooh,
But here we are in the Eastern Conference Finals. Western, sorry.
Milton,
It's
Martin.
Bart.
That was just now by Milton.
Yeah, Mike Smith and net.
I'm sorry, Darren Pang is in the smallest little glass cubicle in between the
That was
benches.
really
Look at
funny.
this crap.
Yeah, he's like in a phone booth.
He's the only
That's
one that can
awesome.
fit there. He's the
He's
only
like
one that can.
what's the guy from what do you call it, from Marvel, from the Avengers Endgame, the Collector. He looks like he's in the Collector, one of the Collector's friggin' tubes.
That was pretty good.
Oh my god, it's terrible.
Where is
Sorry,
he?
sure.
Because in between the benches is not where they showed him. I don't know
Yeah,
where he is.
that's
I
where he
think
is,
it's
I
like the
believe.
side or
Is
something.
he in between or on the
No,
side?
because
He's like on the side in between.
In
No,
between.
yeah, it is in
does-
between. It's super tiny.
Oh.
There's this little thing in
They
between.
have
Yeah.
it is in between, but they also have the ramp for the Avs goes also in between that, so that's why it looked like it was different.
It's weird. It's
Very
terrible.
weird.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah,
That is pretty good.
I see. Yeah.
He's
Little
like in a
booth.
penalty box.
Yeah, its own little personal penalty box.
Yeah, so I mean, I talked about it, but Cale Makar, this series he's been absolutely on fire. He's got 17 points overall in the playoffs. But this series in particular, he's got in the 4-2 win, he was just +2, but he has the assist in game 2, and then he has the goal and 2 assists in game 1.
That was 3. They had 4 points game 1.
Oh boy.
He's 4 points. No, he's 4 points total.
Oh.
He's clearly been the best player, I think, on the ice, other than maybe Connor McDavid. But just his way that he drives play, he makes everybody miss when they're forechecking him. I just can't believe he's eventually going to win a Hart Trophy. He's that good of a defenseman. I think this is his coming out party
I don't know.
as an NHL player. I think he can win a
Possible.
Hart. If he gets
It's so
30,
hard. As
35 goals
as
as a defenseman?
That's asking a lot. I mean, he's phenomenal, but I don't know. This year he had a great year. I mean, yeah, you think it just goes up from here, but keeping up with these numbers or improving on them as a defenseman is very difficult. So yeah, I don't know about a
Not
Hart.
impossible.
but-
not impossible.
if you look at it, right,
He has to win a Norris first. He's got to win a Norris first,
Yeah.
and you're already talking about the Hart Trophy.
I think I said eventually. I think he'll win Norris's. I think that's without question. So his freshman year, right, he has 50 points, 57 games. His sophomore year, he has a point a game, 44 and 44. And then this year, he has 86 points, 28 goals in 77 games. And he's just getting better. He's a 20-year-old kid. So
And defensemen
I
are
think
usually late bloomers, so
Yeah,
they're
and
gonna be
he's
doing this
clear-
early.
sorry, actually,
Hopefully he's not.
23.
Hopefully he's what?
He's got a great cast too. Don't forget
He's
that.
said 23. Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
so that's about the time. Hopefully he's going to go up, and hopefully he's not peaking this season.
Yeah, I doubt he's peaking.
I
but
doubt
he
he's
is.
peaking, but you know
Colorado
what? You never
might
know.
be offensively. Colorado might be peaking offensively as a team, as a whole unit.
Maybe.
So
I think
he
Colorado
has to
has
have
a window.
He's got to have the supporting cast too in order to put up major numbers. And right now he has it. So, then Colorado's got to keep it, and then maybe he can improve. But I don't know. We'll see about a Hart. I'm not buying it, but maybe.
Sorry, I was just looking at some stats.
Coast to coast.
So, by the way, real quick,
McCarr.
still on the Oilers, that game-winning goal that Mike Smith let up, I was sitting at the bar down in Wildwood watching that, and I was like, and I'm sitting there going, that is the most Mike Smith goal Mike Smith can let up to lose a game.
And it's crazy because both him and Francouz have had just awful goals let in, and then they'll come back and make a save. You're like, how did you just do that? You just let in that clunker before.
That's because I want to say that's because in watching Mike Smith play, he's so awkward.
There it is.
Shooters probably there it is.
Yep.
Wow.
Shooters probably don't know exactly where to shoot on Mike Smith because he's so awkward in net.
He's so deep and awkward in the net.
They probably just throw it on net, and he just happens to make some weird scramble save. Like when you play deep in the net like that, you have to scramble.
Just seeing eye.
Yeah, I have no idea. That. And he missed.
I can't. It's like right. The line of my couch is right in front of me, blocking the lower half of the TV.
Not only that, but this is a terrible angle to show a replay on a goal.
I know,
here we go.
Oh, like they had 15 people in front of him.
Jeez.
Yeah,
okay, that's not That's not Mike Smith's ball.
Wow.
He tracked that as best he could. That is
not a bad goal at all.
That's a damn good goal.
Yeah. Great shot.
What a shot.
I cannot score.
Give him a little bit of time. He'll let up a bad one.
Oh, I know. This is the most Mike Smith I've watched in a row.
They were saying that Rantanen's goal in Game 3 was 84 miles per hour on a wrist shot, which is pretty ridiculous when you think of some of the guys slappers that are around here.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rantanen's been very good. 16 points. Obviously, McKinnon has 17 as well. He's 10 goals. Evander Kane still leads the Steers with 13, although he is out this game for that dirty hit on Nazem Kadri, who is now out for the playoffs. He just had surgery. What are your thoughts? I mean, I pretty much know what you got. Game. Yeah, I know, one game. So what's your thought on this? I've heard a lot of people including
That's pretty much my thought.
Par for the course.
One game.
He's out for the playoffs. It's one of their better pieces. Probably the best second line center that is still available in this playoffs. It's amazing that a guy has to get injured and out before you actually give him a 1-game suspension. But who wants to go on this first?
I know some people were calling it. Some people were calling it karma, right? We kind of forget about his last couple of trips to the postseason and what he has done to players, but
he's out of another postseason, and this time not for suspension. He's actually just out.
So regardless, and usually what has happened when he's exited is there's been a complete collapse. But what I will say, regardless of your thoughts on that, I mean, it's still like we go back to last week when weeks prior and however many times, and we repeat this stuff, that the league just does not protect the players, and they're always on the side of the perpetrator, not the person who actually gets. So every one of these hearings, whenever there's a hearing, the only person they talk to is the guy who committed the penalty. They never speak to the person who actually was injured on the play or ended up getting hurt. Their say or opinion or anything is never considered. And, whether you think Kadri deserved it because of prior dirty plays or not, I mean, it was a horrible hit, and Kadri is now out for the entirety of these playoffs, and they give him one game. Nothing's going to stop these players from doing any of this. There's literally no repercussion. What are they thinking? Maybe they'll get eliminated in Game 4. Maybe they don't. Maybe they come all the way back and win in 7. And you gave them one game for eliminating their, one of the best players on their team. Career year this year, a great playoffs.
Has a chance to win a cup, and now he can't be there.
And he can't even be on the ice for them to win the playoff for the cup if they win the cup. And I don't know. It's at this point, it's just I can't say enough, and it's never going to change. Nothing is going to change. In fact, I think it just keeps getting worse. I think suspensions are getting less and less for worse calls or worse plays. I don't know. I don't know what else.
Doesn't Kane have a suspension history also? Like, wouldn't that automatically get you 1 or 2 games to begin with, and then plus, this new penalty, being added on top of that? Like, I don't get how it's only 1 game for him.
Yeah, but they never look at they rarely look at the suspension history for Marchand when he does something stupid. He always gets small little piddly shit.
That's always one of their points, though. Like, has he been suspended before? Does he have a history of being suspended? That's always like whenever they do their stupid ass explanation of these hits to the head or whatever when they go through it. That's always one of the things.
If a penalty is so severe that you have to suspend a player, that a player is going to be suspended, you absolutely have to look at what happened during the play to the other player. If that other player is significantly injured, they need a significant suspension. You're already admitting that the play was dirty enough to warrant a suspension, but you don't care how long the injured player is out at all. You're just saying, like, here's a game, don't do it again, right? And then that's why we get these repeat offenders. Otherwise, there'd be no such thing as repeat offenders if they actually suspended these players rightfully.
It should match how long these guys are out.
How much should it have been, though? So, barring not saying he should be out the entirety that Kadri's out, but let's say how many games should it have been?
10.
I'd say
10
4
minimum.
Oh. Double digits? Okay.
10 minimum.
I'm doing 4 based on.
You just erase this player's season. 10 games. That's it, without a doubt. You're starting 10 games. If they've done it before, increase 7 further. 10. If you're hitting a player in such a dirty way, because you can okay, so you can never prove intent ever. It's just not possible. Like, you can say, oh, he didn't mean to, or maybe he didn't mean to do this, or he wanted to hit him, but he didn't mean to hit him in the head, something along those lines. But like, you cannot prove intent. You can't prove that. The only one who knows is the player himself. Some look a little more obvious than others, but it doesn't matter. It still could be. It could be intentional. It could be unintentional, and regardless, it doesn't make a difference.
That one was bad.
You got to throw the puck.
Stupidity alone.
There's no excuse for that. Like, what I don't understand. What explanation could he possibly give of a play that he was trying to make that convinced this league to be like, all right, you know what, you learned your lesson. You didn't do it on purpose. 1 game. I don't know. I don't know.
So I will ask this of Schwim just because this was actually brought up by so when Edmonton. So first of all, Colorado was very upset. Same with Kadri, that 1 game was what he got. Plus, not also getting he got a major, but he didn't get kicked out of the game, which they were also upset about. They thought Evander Kane should have been.
Yeah, he should have been. He should be kicked out. Yep.
So, and I don't really think that it's as bad, but the Hagel hit,
ding dong,
where he also, the Hagel hit, where he also pushes. I forgot who was in the Rangers, but Edmonton actually called that out as a play that was somewhat similar. That should have been, also a suspension if they got a suspension. What are you guys thought on that?
I absolutely hate these like whataboutisms that these players come up with, and it's like, well, this isn't as severe as this, or they try to downplay the severity of their own dirty hit by looking at another dirty hit, and it's just like, stop. The hit is as dirty as it gets, and take what you're given. I understand your teammates, and you got to come to you want to defend your teammate, right? But at some point, you got to look at yourself and just be like, we got lucky. He only got a game. Right? I don't know.
I think Hagel's could have been like a 1-game suspension. Like, that hit, I think, could have been warranted a 1. It wasn't even the guy was already off balance, and he stupidly pushes him like from behind, and he goes crashing forward. But like,
I forgot who
they downgraded it to I think they originally called it a major, and then they downgraded it to a 2-minute minor. I don't know. I definitely don't think it was as bad as Kane's hit on Kadri. But I could have seen,
Louis
it wasn't against the Rangers. I thought it was
it was
Florida, right? Florida series.
Oh, that hit, yes. Okay.
Yeah, you two, Louis.
I mean, that could have been a 1-game suspension because you're a freaking idiot, and luckily the guy wasn't hurt or anything. He was able to come back.
Didn't I say immediately after the hit? I'm pretty sure I said that's suspendable, and I agree that is a suspendable play. And I don't think that is warranted more of a suspension than Evander Kane's.
No,
and I'll bring into that he just ended somebody's season.
Oof. Yeah,
with a dirty hit.
So I'm saying the guy wasn't hurt on the play. I think they could have kept it a major though, at least instead of downgrading it to a 2-minute.
Yes.
But again,
but
they've been doing that. That's kind of part. That's also par for the course for this stupid postseason. It's calling these majors, looking at it, and it actually looks worse in slow motion.
Yeah.
And they look at it in slow motion where it looks worse than it did live, and then they downgrade it to a minor. Two instances that are obvious in my.
They don't throw them out after looking at that, looking over that hit, that cross strike. They don't throw them out after that. Seeing that in slow mo, how could you not? I don't like. What is the reasoning? Oh no.
If it's not a fighting major, any major should be a game ejection. I thought that was a thing. Is that not a thing anymore? I thought that was just automatic.
No, I think it's all refs' discretion.
Yep.
Well, it should be automatic.
I don't know. I think
these things aren't going to change. I'm losing more and more confidence that these just aren't going to change. And
I don't know if
every major. You're going to see careers cut short.
I don't know if every major should be an automatic game ejection.
Yeah,
non-fighting majors are all game ejection. If you cause a penalty that warrants a 5-minute major, you should be thrown out of the game. A 5-minute major is as severe a penalty as you can commit, and you're probably either attempting to injure somebody or you have injured somebody. And in both cases,
why not just give a
you
match
should be
penalty?
out.
So then they should just get match penalties, because then they're out of the game.
Yes.
So then
a 5-minute major and a match.
There you go. So then you have to add it on. But again, the fact that they're reviewing these hits and then downgrading the penalty, that's something that to me is kind of mind blowing. To downgrade something that you're looking at, and it should be like holy shit, this is worse the second time I look at it. We were right on the first time. In fact, let's give him a match and get him the hell out of here. That really should be.
Because like I said, every one of these plays looks significantly worse when it's broken down in slow motion, which is I don't understand what explanation you could give as to why you would downgrade it. If it looked so bad live that you're giving it a major, and then you look at it in replay and it looks worse, and you're like, oh, we don't want to punish the guy who committed the penalty because we're on his side. Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I think that so is Kane out? Because I'm an idiot. I don't know. Is Kane out tonight or was he out game 3?
Tonight. He's out tonight.
No, he's out tonight. Yeah.
So all right. So by being out tonight on a pivotal game, this is going to sound really weird. It should be it should potentially be a conditional suspension, as far as if he's out tonight, it's a pivotal game and they lose, whatever, they lose. But it should be, maybe 2-3 games, depending on if they continue on, he continues to be suspended. Another thing that they can also look at.
Well, but then they could just extend that to next season.
They could,
plays a playoff.
They could, but missing the first couple games of the missing the first couple games of the opening of the next season is whatever. It
actually goes to playoffs, I think.
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
it doesn't. It goes
the
season.
No, I don't think it.
I think it would go to the next.
But either either way, what they should potentially do is have some kind of a formula to where, so he's out for the rest of the playoffs. So that was game. What was that, game 3 that the hit was? So it would be game 4, 5, 6, and 7. So 4 games this series, and a potential of 7 for next series. Maybe add up all the potential games that he's going to miss, divided by 2. There's your suspension. Cut and dry.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you, but the severity of the injury absolutely needs to be considered in these. And I also don't think the fact that it's the playoffs shouldn't change the amount of games suspended for. So if he does this in the regular season and it's 15 games, do it in the playoffs, 15 games. Whether 15. It's the rest of your playoffs or tacked onto the following season, it should be exact. None of the playoffs shouldn't be considered. And they're like, oh, I feel bad. He's going to miss the rest of the series. No, screw that. Throw the book at the guy.
It'll stop guys from doing
already.
it. It should stop guys
it's the
from
only
doing
way.
it. It's the inconsistencies. I mean, we see it all the time with Wilson and Marchand. They're constantly fucking around, and the league loves to treat them like they're heels because it brings in money for the league. that these bad boys are out there, and like, what are they going to do today? It's like I guarantee that when the Bruins are on the road, they're selling tickets, not completely, but I'm sure people are going to those games potentially to see what Marchand's going to do today. The
Wilson,
league
people
loves
go to the games to see him.
to see
They want to see what he's going to do.
What kind of dumb shit that those two, both of those
Oh,
types
yeah.
of players are going to do. So the league, whether they say it or not, they love those players because to them it's bringing in revenue and excitement to the league.
Yeah.
The problem is that guys are getting hurt. Guys are getting. It's just the stupidity that both those guys bring. The league's got to come down on these guys and basically say, well, screw the money.
Oh boy.
And this is for the betterment of the game, but they don't care about that. It's revenue driven. The league is.
Well, they're losing superstars now. Now,
Well,
from 30 hits, superstars are going down and missing games to injury, and that is significantly more important than somebody wanting to see some idiot potentially try to do something stupid in a game.
so
Those players are selling tickets.
So then that's got to come from the ownership, or potentially even the players' union, which puts the players' union in a tough spot because that's
the players' union
players against
is
each other.
The players' union is complete BS because the players' union is also on the side of the offender. They appeal suspensions. They never go and talk to the guy who just got injured for the rest of the season. Just had surgery because he broke something. They never go and talk to him. They only go and they fight for the guy who got suspended to try and get less games because another player that supposedly they represent just got his season ended because of a dirty play. But they'll go to bat for the guy who just got suspended.
Well, that's a problem with union
Everything
leadership.
is backwards.
That the players that's a problem with union leadership that the players got to step up and take care of. I don't know how you change that.
And going back to what you said about ownership needs to step in and do something. And, of course I'm a Penguins fan, but Mario Lemieux changed Matt Cook. They had enough of his crap and him being a dirty player and injuring players. And they told him if, change your style, change the game, or you're not playing for this organization anymore. And to that effect, Matt Cook changed. You didn't see the suspensions. You didn't see the dirty plays. I mean, he still had a little bit of an edge to him, but and in fact, he lost some effectiveness because he wasn't that type of player anymore, but you saw a little more of his skill, and he was still an effective player. But they took that out of his game.
Well, that's an example of when you have actual hands-on ownership instead of the absentee ownership that the Devils have. Useless assholes that do nothing. I envy you having ownership that actually steps in to do something, whereas they don't really give two flying whatever about.
We'll get into your team in a little bit, guy.
Other than, oh man, I got plenty to say about my team and the jackasses that run it.
I actually got a question for you, so we'll save that.
I'm over yelling about this.
All right, do we have anything else on Colorado Oilers as we keep going?
Yeah, let's hope Colorado ends it so Kane doesn't get to play again.
Yep. All right. Let's go to the fun series, the series that actually has some competitiveness. Rangers Lightning 2-1. Game one, Rangers pretty much take advantage of a team that looked like it had rested for 9 days and then had not played in that long. Oilers Lightning looked slow. They couldn't keep up with the pace of the Rangers, which has kind of been a little bit of the case the entire series, but they got, they definitely came back a little bit in game three. The Rangers have been able to put pace of play, on the Lightning, which has been, fortuitous and obviously led to the first two wins. Obviously 6-2 in the first game, 4-2 in the second game. Last game
3-2.
3-2. Yeah, sorry, 3-2 in game two. I was at the game. I should have known that. Game three, Lightning 3-2 win. I know. I'm sorry, Gay. Lightning 3-2. No, I was. I wanted him there.
Wow.
Lightning 3-2 win. Game three. Rangers led 2-0 on 2 power plays. Oh, I thought you were looking at the game. You're getting attacked by a cat.
No, my cat just clawed me.
So Rangers go up 2-0 on back-to-back power play goals, courtesy of 2 goalie interference penalties. Then you have the flow the other way where 2 more power play goals, but this time it's for the Lightning. You have a Jacob Trouba, dumb idiot penalty, and then you have another run in the
I think he literally tried to grab his skate.
He did. He tried to grab him. Yeah. A lot of people were saying that wasn't a penalty. It was a penalty. He grabs him. I don't know.
A lot of people
who in the right mind
in MSG. A lot of people at MSG were saying it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
99.9% were Ranger fans saying that's not a penalty.
Actually, Elliot Friedman said on his podcast that he had heard from a bunch of people that were not Rangers people saying that he didn't think it was a penalty.
I don't think he added that they weren't Rangers people. I think you're just saying that. You hope.
No. He said around the league.
People.
He said around the league.
Around the New York area of the league.
Yeah, fine. Whatever you want to say.
The tri-state area.
Your team's not in the playoffs, so haha.
No, they're not.
All right, so obviously Jacob Trouba is an idiot. I called him out as first start of the game because he directly led to 2 goals and just had an otherwise terrible game. The game winner, Palat, 10 game-winning goals in the playoffs. He's been fantastic for them. The pass by Kucherov to him was very good. Kuch had a pretty good game.
Finally,
because I know you
weren't
happy with him the other 2 games.
No,
I'll let you go into it.
The first 2 games,
go ahead.
He was terrible, and he's kind of played the game 3. He was starting off not so great, but no. Game 3 he looked like himself. Tampa looked like themselves. 5-on-5, they absolutely dominated the Rangers. 5-on-5. I think they were saying something like. Zibanejad and Kreider only had 1 shot between them, 5-on-5. Yeah. The rest were power play. But that was a much better game. I mean, it was still a very good, close game, but yeah, much better game for Tampa. And that Palat stat that you just said that he's got 10 game-winning goals in the playoffs.
Like
yep.
What? This is what you look. This is what you look like right now while you're talking.
I'll try doing that. On.
Sure. You gotta lick. You gotta lick yourself.
He's not. No, Melvin's not licking himself. He's just licking the roof of his mouth.
Okay.
That's from talking.
All right. That Palat goal again. His 10th of 10 game-winning goals in the playoffs. That's the franchise. He's the all-time leader in the franchise for that stat, which is amazing.
Right,
the guy's a seventh-round pick
head over there.
So
he's a seventh-round pick, and he leads the
all-time
and a UFA. And a UFA.
Yep. UFA. Who is? So this is my trivia question. We'll do it now because it actually tapers off that Palat stat. Who is the active leader for game-winning goals in the playoffs currently? I'll give you a hint too if you want. One more hint. He is also a 7th-round pick, like Andre Palat.
Huh.
Active?
You want another?
And he's
hint?
Still playing? Yeah, give us another hint.
Yep. He's in a fabled draft class. I don't want to give you the year because I don't want to give it away. All right, 2003, because you guys clearly 2003 draft class. 7th round.
It's not Hugh Jessamine.
It is not Hugh Jessamine. Thank you.
He's a close second, I believe.
Yeah, he is. So this guy has 14 game-winning goals. Hugh Jessamine has 0. He's that close.
Okay.
Only 14 goal lead.
Yeah, that's not much. He's got a chance.
Yeah, it really isn't. Come on, he's one of the better players. He was in the playoffs this year.
Okay,
his team got ousted in the second. His team got ousted in the first round. Nope.
In the first round?
Yeah.
Is he Spezza?
Nope, not Spezza. Shorts guy, that was a good guess, by the way. Spezza also in the 2000. Oh, Spezza was not in the 2003 draft class though.
I said Bergeron. No. He's struck me.
Bergeron was 03.
Yeah, I'm surprised I got that right.
Is he American?
He is American. Come
Pavelski?
on. Pavelski, thank you.
14
Yes, that one. Wow.
So
should have known.
Should have, but didn't.
I mean, Joe Pavelski is pretty much the answer for most things.
Yeah.
All right, so quickly back to the Rangers. So, Phil Heedle's been very good this series. I think he has 8 goals through the playoffs. He has got 4 in this series. Panarin had a pretty good game one. Zib with power play goals. Kreider, same thing. Game two, Rangers. I was at the game. It was crazy. The Garden was rocking. There were a lot of bros, which sucked, but it was also more Ranger fans than suits, which was good.
They
They
didn't
steal
specify if those jerseys were purchased that morning.
All the suits are front row.
They could have been. So they were all no. So you can consider, I guess, this a wealthy pickup, but 3 rows in front of me was the Giants' defensive line. I think I sent you guys the photo of that. So we had Leonard Williams was there.
Photo.
Oh, sorry, I'll send you the photo. In the front row I had Leonard Williams. There were a bunch of other guys, and these guys are monsters in person. I've never seen larger human beings. But in the game one, Kucherov was the first game two. Kucherov was the first power play goal. Keandre Miller comes down, makes a very nice move after a first shot to get that first goal. Capo Caco has the goal from the Adam Fox assist, which was that Adam Fox move to put Jan Ruda on his back was a very good move. Mika Zibanejad then gets the third period goal, and then you have the Nick Paul goal at about 2 minutes remaining.
I think I could make a move and put Jan Ruda on his back. So.
Well, that was
that's not much of an accomplishment.
That's saying a lot.
You guys, Jesus. I can't get any credit for my team.
Hell no. Mike Smith,
fine, Grim. Then I'm not going to give you any credit for your nice game 3 win.
You did. Boom. Sorry.
Zibanejad, Kreider, both power play goals, each of 10 on the series or on the season. Kuch has that power play goal. Then Stammer has the blast, and then finally Andre Palat. So it's been pretty much the battle of the goaltenders in games 2 and 3. If the Lightning could continue to play like they did in game 3, I think the Rangers are going to able to hurt. I think that it's going to be a key to how the Rangers come out in game 4 tomorrow night. If they can get that on them early, it's going to be a big, a change. They've gotten scored on twice to start the season or start the game this postseason, and they've kind of faltered every time that's happened. When they scored first, they seem to do well. What is Steve? Well, none of you guys are both biased, but what's your thoughts on the series and where you think it's going to go?
Well, I will say that it's starting to look like Tampa's finally starting to come around in a pretty, with the exception of two dumb penalties that end up, two dumb penalties and perhaps one that certainly maybe wasn't a penalty, but
which one
that ended up in the first goaltender interference.
You didn't think that was a penalty?
No.
Where he slashed him in the head?
No,
I don't think
he slashed him in the head with his stick.
Yeah, but I don't think it should have been a power play. It should have been evened up.
How should it not have? He hit him in the head with the stick.
Friggin' Shesterkin should have got a friggin' penalty for embellishment.
Oh.
You got hit in the head with a stick.
He won the friggin' Oscar. He got sent flying back and tosses his stick in his blocker like he just got shot.
I'm ready.
I'm not saying it wasn't a penalty. I'm not saying it wasn't a penalty.
I'm ready to finish my analysis. Yes,
I'm saying he should have got one too.
Absolutely not.
What I'm concerned about here is that game 1 was a complete no-show. Game 2, they came on a little bit towards the end.
Too late.
And too late. And then game 3, they controlled, with the exception of putting the Rangers on 2 power plays on some pretty dumb penalties. That's potentially complete control of that game. But my concern now is that too little, too late, because now we have a series, but you already gave the Rangers a 2-0 lead. So now it has to be a dominating performance going forward consistently. Can they do it? Yes. Will they do it? I don't know. The Rangers have also they're an opportunistic team that plays very hard. They come out and they skate hard. They have what I'm noticing. They have one consistent 5-on-5 line that actually produces anything, and that's the Hedl line. Yeah. Otherwise, everyone else is just scoring on the power play, and that power play is deadly. So if Tampa is going to be, they got to play smarter and stop taking penalties. Number one,
turnovers,
and the Rangers would be good to do the same. But I think now we actually have a series where both teams are now back to playing the way that they can play. I wouldn't be surprised if the Rangers end up taking the series, but I think Tampa is certainly capable of taking control of it. But the one thing I did notice, while both goalies, with the exception of Vasilevsky, looked a little porous in Game 1, but the entire team looked porous in Game 1. I don't think that they. I mean, you look at the quantity that Shesterkin faced last game. There's really not a lot. There's not a lot of quality to the shots, and the same with the Rangers. I don't think either goalie is really making these game-stopping saves. It's just shots to the net, and there's not much opportunity afterwards. Shesterkin's doing a pretty good job controlling the rebounds, and the defense is actually doing a very good job getting the rebounds out of harm's way. So there's really it's one and done, and it's just like shots from outside, shots from here, shots from there, and it's shots in which Shesterkin really doesn't have to move much. And it's the same with Vasilevsky. When they're making their saves, they're really not having to move a whole lot, so that neither of them are dictating the series at this point. I think both are kind of products of how their teams are playing, and I mean, it's certainly a benefit that Shesterkin can make all those saves because quantity is. You still got to make those saves, but I don't think either of them are dictating the pace of this game right now, which is what we kind of thought that it would be like every night one of them is stealing the game from the other, and it's been slightly underwhelming as far as that matchup goes. But not say that they were really bad, but I don't know. We'll see how the rest of the series pans out. I mean, there's still a lot of hockey to be played potentially, unless this gets finished in the next 2 games, but. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that. Go ahead, Shorts.
I'm going to say I'm hoping like hell that the Lightning can pull this off because I think a Rangers Stanley Cup final for me would be a nightmare. I already went through that nightmare in soccer. I don't need to do it again in the fucking spring. Anyway.
How about the New York team?
What happened?
So yeah, how about that New York team, football club?
You don't even know. Yeah, is that their name? Is that what they're?
Isn't it New York FC, right? New York FC.
Yeah, NYCFC, a bunch of assholes.
Yep. So shove it.
Yeah.
You jerk.
I hate them. Before I get in trouble for saying stuff on air. Anyway, is this so Dean, you would know this because you're better with stats than me. Is this, has Shesterkin seen as many shots as he's been seeing this series in any of the other series prior?
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Not in Carolina, really. Carolina was pretty lousy.
Carolina,
Okay.
Yep.
So we kind of got a break against Carolina.
78 in Game 1.
Oh, that's right, in that overtime. Yeah, he had a ton of them, and then he wound up losing.
Just missed the record.
I think he had a couple other 40 plus, at least 2 other 40 plus
Game
save
7
nights. Besides,
was 40.
I mean,
plus,
eliminate the 2 he got pulled in, and I think he had close to 40 every night, if not 40 every night. Yeah.
No, the Rangers. They actually said the Rangers are the number 1 team in allowing. They're the only team to go through 2 rounds while giving up the
really long overtime game since that first one. Correct, Billy Dean?
Mm-hmm.
For the Rangers.
Rangers have had 2 overtime games. The one against Pittsburgh.
They both ended pretty quick.
Game 7 in Pittsburgh.
Carolina ended pretty quick.
Didn't go to overtime. I was very happy about that.
Yeah, I was.
So anyway, these letting up these shots.
I did not want overtime.
Shots. Because bone storm. It takes a toll on the goaltender. Eventually catches up with the goalie. So the Rangers got to be careful with that stat. It could come back to bite them, especially with a team like Tampa that can really fire. But yeah, it seems to be like in the last game, because I was listening to it on the radio, it seemed like in the beginning there were a couple flurries where both goalies had to make multiple saves, but other than that, there really wasn't many of those opportunities out there. So it's. I agree. I think, Steve, you were saying that neither goalie has really won a game, and they really haven't had to. I'm kind of surprised at what Vasilevsky has let up as far as the amount of goals.
High blocker.
To the last series.
Yeah, they had a whole stat.
They've been going high.
That.
The one thing that I was expecting the Rangers to do on him, which I think they did quite often in the Carolina series, if I'm not mistaken, was a lot of redirected goals. And I figured that was going to be the best way to beat Vasilevsky would be tips and redirections and things of that nature, which they really haven't had to do, but they've seemed to solve him up high. I think if Tampa is going to win, Vasilevsky has to steal the next, minimum 2 games. He's got to win at home.
He's going to have to steal some games.
This next game is, I think, another must-win. They have to win it. There's no if they lose.
Every game's a must-win. Every game's a must-win, and I think he really needs to steal that game. That game 5 in MSG.
He has to give him a chance. He has to play good enough to give them a chance.
He's got to steal that game. He has to steal that game for the Lightning if they want to go on and win the series. So I think that's
game 5.
That's a must-steal game. Yeah, game 5.
In New York, he needs to.
They're going to have to win on the road no matter what. But yeah,
Vasi's going to have to play that game 5, regardless of what.
That was actually much nicer in slow-mo.
Yeah, but regardless of what the game tomorrow does, Vasi has to play that game 5 like it's a game 7, and he's got to do what he does in game 7 or elimination games, and he's just got to shut it down, and he's got to actually have a shutout if he wants to do anything.
Well, he finally got that. He finally got that back-to-back streak ended, which I think he just kind of needed to get out of the way.
Yeah, that was going to end eventually.
Absolutely. Eventually, it was going to end.
I'm glad it was my team.
Yep.
Well,
now it's
I really hope
18-1
your team goes on the win.
Okay.
Or I really hope your team goes on the lose there, Billy Dean. He almost slipped up and said something terrible. I actually got to point this out. Bud. Last Wednesday morning, last Wednesday morning, my really good friend Matt Banky, who listens to the show, what's up, Matt? He shot me a text Wednesday morning. He's like, "Yeah, I was listening to the podcast last night. Will you ever pick the Rangers?" And my answer was simply just no.
No,
never. They can't do it. There's not a chance in hell.
You can't do it for one of your good friends. Just one. Like Schwimm's had enough winning. Why can't I be the one that gets lucky?
Because it's the Rangers. I'm sorry, I can't.
That doesn't mean he's going to root for Tampa in the Cup final.
In the final, yeah. No. Just whoever's playing the Rangers, that's who he's
pretty much. For. And I do have to point this out. It looks like this Friday I have another really solid Shesterkin move to pull the next time someone comes moderately close to me, because the way he embellished that, I've been hitting the cage like that before. It sucks, but to throw your stick back and fall like you've been shot, like holy hell, that is not that was not warranted at all. That was such embellishment.
What is Biz Nasty doing?
I don't know. Like, did he lose a bet? Like, what the hell happened?
Yeah. So his bet was
last game,
so
right?
back in
the last game.
Yeah, last game. Whitney actually did it on air. He shaved his head on air. So I think it was in November or December, they made a bet that if Edmonton and Calgary made it to the playoffs, Biz said that Calgary would whomp them. He'd destroy them. And obviously,
it didn't happen.
Whitney took Edmonton, and so Biz lost, and he had to do that.
Wow,
Biz has been wrong pretty much every time.
Yeah, everything he's been trying to predict or call has been.
Yeah, he said the Rangers were going to get destroyed by both teams, and that did not happen.
He's been terrible.
So
they did get destroyed by the Penguins. They just got lucky. Yeah.
So you're saying there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance for me to actually do this as a career? Yes.
Yep, you still got a chance. All right, quickly. So we obviously did our predictions already, but we'll get to 2 quick things. They announced Jack Adams. It went to Sutter from Calgary. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So he wins his first Coach of the Year award. Selke was nominated and awarded to Patrice Bergeron, 5-time winner. That's the record now.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Bruins also, so a lot of Bruins news, right? So they let go of Bruce Cassidy.
That's crazy.
Him.
Yep.
Obviously, he's been there 6 years. He's had pretty good success. So that was a little bit of a shocker to Bruins fans. Lastly, they did announce that Marchand would miss 6 months for surgeries. So I was going to say, watch the Bruins get Connor Bedard after all these injuries next year, and so they
they won't unless Bergeron retires.
Out for a while too.
Which I could see him doing. I could see him retiring.
Yeah, I can see Bergeron retiring. I don't know if McAvoy's out.
I thought he was.
Although
he had surgery too. I thought.
Yeah, he had surgery too. I thought so. I thought I heard that right. And he was going to miss a little bit of time because I forget what I was listening to, but they were talking about how the Bruins could be a disaster come the beginning of next season. because they're missing some players.
That's another good landing spot for Trotz, by the way, also.
Yeah. Quickly, Ryan Strome is expected for Game 4. That was a weird, I don't know if you saw
weird.
that.
He barely touched him, and
I don't think it was from that. He just took a step, and then you could just see him immediately clench up. That's really those non-contact injuries are always the worst too. And then Barclay, Goudreau, and Trim knows this. He is an absolute beast warrior. He took that one shot right off the side of the foot, and you were like, "That's something broken."
Oh yeah, that hurts.
He came back. Yeah, that was crazy. So I did have one question. We'll do it real fast because we started late. My draft idea, and you guys tell me if you think this is a good idea.
No.
So every year there's a lottery, right? And for the lottery, they do the ping pong bullshit balls, and they show the card at the end, and they announce it. What if, after the lottery was done, you immediately have to start draft night? So, in essence, Habs win the lottery. They immediately have 10 minutes to make the pick. Then the Debs go, then et cetera, et cetera. So you would have to do this after the Cup Finals. You'd have to do this after the Cup Finals. But wouldn't that be kind of cool if you immediately hopped right into the draft? So you don't know your spot.
That'd be cool. The lottery and then
like speed dating.
Same night.
They'd have to push the lottery to the time around when the draft is, because there's still combines and all that.
They would have to open the draft. They would have to open the draft with the lottery, which that could make the draft really interesting.
I think that'd be really fun to watch. Get to see that on TV and jump right into it. I think that'd be cool.
Although part of me, if they did do that, part of me is going to believe that teams know in advance.
Possible. Well, so then what you do is you have someone random come and do the pick, so that it's not a team, and not all of a sudden they bring up the cards and show them. But yeah, you have some random jerk like Steve come in and make the picks, and you go that way. Or you have that guy that pulled up Lafreniere's ball, from that telecast. He could just do everyone.
The weighted ball.
Yeah, you would love that.
Ball. Yeah, I would love that, huh? And by the way, I do not want. Oh no, that actually doesn't. Yeah, I was gonna say the Rangers did lose out on a first-round pick this year for the Andrew Kopp trade because they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. So they do not have a first-round pick this year. You guys got anything else before we bid adieu? Oh, here's a trivia question: who is the current ice time leader through the playoffs? Minimum 7 games played.
Average per game.
Minimum 7. Yeah, average per game. Time on ice per game.
Is it Fox? Chris Letang?
It is Chris Letang. 29 minutes and 51 seconds per game. Do you know who wins the 1 game sample size? This guy played in 1 game.
He only played in 1 single game?
Yeah, this guy played 1 game. Steve should know this.
Who only played 1 game? Was it Dumoulin?
Dumoulin. Oh, God damn it, I'm not.
How is that a penalty?
That's
not a penalty.
That's absolutely
a penalty. I'm
Oh, God.
Complete.
There's the penalty.
There's evidence. It's evidence that this guy is a jerk and can't control a stick. And you could hear the crack on the telecast. He hits him right.
Okay,
in
then
there's the penalty. Throwing
a shot
is the penalty.
I will admit, maybe the stick fly was
what
a
ref
little
is
egregious.
What ref is gonna finally grow some cojones and call a damn penalty for embellishment on him?
Well, you saw what happened to Mike Smith when Milan Lucic hit him, and that was pretty much the equivalent.
Oh, Sam, perfect timing.
I'm not watching the other screen, so I could have seen him doing this, and I just did not look. Man, this is terrible. Thank you, Sam.
Wow.
How do I turn this off loop? I don't know how to get this off loop. I think Sam.
I'm glad you
Sam
locked
me
Billy
out.
Dean?
I can't do anything.
Billy Dean. This plan was devised on the 20 minutes that I was on the Let's Go Devils podcast last
night. But back to Steve real fast. Brian Dumoulin, 36 minutes and 35 seconds in the game that he played.
Okay.
He just had a torn MCL. He just had surgery.
Yeah, and then the forward with the most minutes played per game was actually Mitch Marner. Sorry, Mitch Hamlin.
Wow,
Mitch
not
Marner.
McDavid, huh?
Yeah, 22.55 versus McDavid's 22.46.
Okay, so it's close.
One last thing, and this I can't see. Damn it.
It's so cool.
It's pretty fantastic. Let everyone see what really happened.
Man. He got hit in the head by a stick. That's what happened.
Okay,
Might
so the
have-
aftermath of that.
Yeah, the stick throw might have been a little much. If he just fallen back, that would have been
A
fine.
little
But
much?
He
Doesn't he lose his blocker too? He throws his stick and then he like throws his blocker off and he's like on the
watch.
ground twitching.
It's a
throws
lot
the
much.
blocker?
I think it's
Yeah,
after that.
that's a lot
that's
much.
Yeah.
Faker.
Oh my
Faker.
god. God damn it. Sam, you suck.
Love you, Sam. Keep up the great work.
He's doing all this stuff on here. I should just press a whole bunch of buttons and screw up this damn thing.
Just pour Buzz Cola all over your
Yeah,
all over your
my
computer.
All right, Connor McDavid, real fast, 30 points in 15 games. He's ridiculous. Leon Draisaitl, 28 and 15. Connor McDavid's really the only person that seems to be doing anything for Edmonton. Zibanejad, 24. Adam Fox, 23. And Cooch rounds out the top 5 with 20. Cam Makar, like we said, has 17 points. Adam Fox having a great series, or great,
Great
postseason in
playoffs.
general.
Everything he's doing is pretty
Zib's been very opportunistic, which is good.
Yes.
Zib's scoring
Yeah,
every friggin' game possible.
He does.
every
He actually had
One-time bomb.
four straight. Yeah,
It's the Stamkos blast.
Yeah. He took a page out of his book.
Quickly, goalies left in
I
the
guess that guy
playoffs.
too.
Vasi has the best goals against. Save percentage, it's actually Igor at 930.
Surprising.
Oh, and you're getting
That's just
shelled
the
like
best. Oh,
that.
no, maybe it's not. That Florida series is ridiculous.
That Florida series was nuts. Yes, that's what helped him a lot.
Yeah, Igor's also played the most games at 17.
Yeah.
Let's hope he's extra tired tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah, hopefully not.
That's what I
Big
hope.
jerk.
Extra
That's what I hope.
All right. If you guys don't have anything else, I don't know, maybe Sam will just want to take over this because I don't even know what he's doing anymore. God damn it.
It's not a slash.
I really don't know how to turn this off.
Just be careful. Just be careful.
Sam,
if
if you're
anyone's
there, you
behind
want to
the
just
net on Friday.
or I'll just do this fine. I'm gonna slash Shorts guy in the face and see how he flops.
I'll throw my
Just go
stick
through
just
the
like
boards.
that.
Yeah, exactly. All right, what's your beers?
There she blows. I got
4.
375. Solid.
4.
I don't know how to turn this
Give it a
off.
solid 4. Love it.
4s except for me. Screw you guys.
Way to blow.
I'm Addy.
All right, Shrimp, take her home.
Congratulations to Igor Shesterkin for winning the 2022 Bill Masterton Memorial Trophy. Igor demonstrated great perseverance and dedication to hockey in his return to play after being shot in the second period of yesterday's game.
You really suck.
Greatest tweet I've seen so far.
I love it.
Quickly, happy 39th anniversary to Bill and Dana Dean. Congrats.
Happy
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.